Management, Bangalore, and they are looking for 1-year full-time program aimed at mid-career executives aspiring towards leadership roles here in the United States. They're looking for students, and this is the criteria for selection. Academic record, quality and length of work experience, a valid GMAT score, statement of purpose, and recommendation letter with a 7 years minimum work after the undergrad. They are doing this, they're coming and marketing this right here in the United States of America, and I am absolutely intrigued. No, I'm happy. I'm happy. You know, the MBA schools, and this is not an MBA, but it seems like more of an executive postgraduate program in management. But for them to come and recruit students from the United States,
well, the dollar goes further. It goes further in India, and MBAs are extremely expensive degrees to get here in the United States. And for a lot of us mid-career individuals, it becomes you know, do you spend the money to get an MBA, or do you just try to advance your career to get to the same place? Because
so basically what it is, folks, is to take 1 year off of your life here in the United States, go to India, live there. This is what is called executive MBA.
I think for a lot of people who are trying to create some kind of a global company that operates on both fronts, why not, you know, be there, learn the environment, and let's face it, Indian Institute of Management is a well-reputed school. It's like IIT.
I want to go there. I want to take the 1 year off and actually go and be a student. This would be a fun thing to do.
You need to start studying for that GMAT.
That's going to be the most difficult one.
Well, Ramesh, speaking of ads, there were 2 ad campaigns that were highlighted by the website sepiamutiny.com. It's just funny ads. I have to share them with you because one of them is just ridiculous, and the other one I couldn't figure out. So let's start with Burger King. Burger King, in its infinite wisdom, decided to market its Carl's Jr. burgers using Padma Lakshmi. And most of us remember Padma Lakshmi from the show Top Chef. And of course, she's Indian. And, you know, right away you're thinking, okay, she's Indian, and you've got a burger, beef. So I wonder what Burger King was thinking here. But that's not the funny part. The funny part is the ad itself. In it, Padma Lakshmi is shown shopping through a farmer's market. So you think she's going to cook a nice fresh meal. But instead, at the end of this little skit, she sits on the front steps and chomps down on this burger, right? This Carl's Jr. burger. But the way, let's just say it was a little provocative. Let's just say that, you know, one would not have expected Padma Lakshmi to do something like that, especially to advertise a beef burger. And I think a lot of Indian viewers would have heartburn watching somebody chop down on a burger that represents India, but that's not it, folks. Burger King also decided to use Lakshmi, the goddess, paired in a poster with the burger. It was just incredibly short-sighted. They should have done their homework. They should have known better. In this kind of globalized world we live in, they should have known not to have messed with that. They issued an apology. So that's ad campaign number 1. Ad campaign number 2 is Air India. You know, Air India has been around forever. Not all of us prefer to travel on Air India, which is unfortunate because it is our national airline. So they're trying to image remake themselves, go through an image makeover. They want to be hip and cool now instead of the stodgy old airline that my parents flew. So they've come out with a new ad campaign that really highlights where India is going and the new global economy. Look at these 2 ads. Notice anything interesting? They are very clearly trying to hit on those multiracial families to try and travel in Air India. But here's the thing I found very curious. According to both of these ads, it looks like you're only allowed to have Caucasian partners or spouses. You know, I don't know if they were really thinking that through. I don't know if anybody really considered that angle. But whenever you're going to pursue an ad campaign like this with the intent of appealing to a mass audience, you know, you don't want to set up any kind of dangerous precedent or something that might say, I wonder what's going on there. So I hope they decide to to take this concept and stretch it further, because many of us are married outside of the Caucasian race
That's
to
right.
other races, and it's important to highlight that when we mean multiracial, we mean all sorts of multiracial combinations.
Right. It was in the newspapers that Air India did not pay their staff for a couple of weeks. They deferred the payment because they didn't have enough money, I guess.
Well, let's hope they didn't put it towards the SAD campaign in place of paying their employees. That would not be good.
I wish them the very best.
Hey, I do too. They've been around for a long time, and I hope it works out.
Folks, in the follow-up on a story from last week, we were bemoaning the fact that Indian ladies are not wearing saris that much as they used to a few years ago. Well, I want to tell you that in Chennai, there's a college called Venkateswara Homeopathic Medical College. Folks, everybody up there wears sari, except this one intern who wears salwar kameez.
So it's a uniform.
That's right. But the principal told her you cannot attend the school in that particular outfit. She got angry. She sued. So Chennai High Court has upheld the intern's right to wear a salwar kameez and dupatta in college, saying the attire is a decent wear.
Well, it makes you wonder, what was the objective? Was it to try to enforce the uniform policy or to try to get her to embrace saris?
It is the principal's whim, because they proved that the college really had no uniform. There was no mandated anything.
Well,
it was just, he wished it.
It's a good attempt at keeping saris alive, and I just hope that it doesn't become a uniform, because it somehow takes away from the glamour of the sari. But hey, he's doing his part to keep it alive. In another follow-up from a story we did last week, we had a very diligent viewer write in about the Delhi High Court. Now, last week I said it was the Supreme Court of India, and I was wrong. It's the Delhi High Court that decriminalized homosexuality, overturning a 148-year-old colonial law. And what the significance there is that the Delhi High Court is really, the jurisdiction is Delhi. So this is not nationwide yet, but it's an important first step, because Delhi is, after all, the capital of the country. Yeah. So important.
It sets a precedent, and others follow. Yeah.
But I wanted to make sure that we did make that correction, and thanks to Mr. Subhash Vora for being a diligent viewer and letting us know.
But he also told us that an application has been made to the Supreme Court to overturn that decision, and then the Supreme Court has sent out the word to the stakeholders, do you have anything to say about it? So drama continues.
To be continued.
Well, folks, that's about all we have for you, and from Asta and I, you have a very nice weekend. Namaste.
Namaste.